It's good to have you here again. I am Impacttouch, and this is Couples Eve, embodying the endless glamour of love. I'll be answering a couple of questions, all right, today. Basically, four questions out of the several, that I attended to in the course of the week. And quickly, I believe that one or two people might have something to learn from this question. The first question I have here is, how long do I wait for a lady to accept my proposal? So you're having a date, you've seen someone and you've asked her you're interested, you want something committed, a relationship that's leading to marriage, and she is posting you. One will say, is posting me, and you guys are trying to drive along, and you try to ask her one time or the other that you want something beyond just friendship, and she is trying to say no, she's not convinced, or she's not ready, or what should you do? Guy, I'll advise you. There is not a general rule to this thing. It all depends on your weight, how your capacity to stay on. Some people have a lot of grace to love suffering, not someone like me. All right, so I always believe that once you're interested to get along with someone, you ask her. It's either a yes or no. It's either she's ready or she's not ready. All right. And if she's not ready, don't put your mind to it. Don't keep chasing. Don't keep chasing. There are a lot of fishes in the oceans. The Bible says when God created them, male and female created he them. All right. So it is not just one person. Male and female created he them. And when God saw everything, he saw that it was good. So if you're asking someone to settle down with you, obviously there are things you've seen about him or her that makes the person attractive to you. And you ask the person out, the person says he or she is not ready. Guy, move on. Be a friend. No wrong feelings. But life has to go on. Okay. I'm not part of the school of thought that you keep posting someone, except within your mind, you know that subsequently you need to give her time to really blend in and to understand. You know when someone is actually possibly trying to mirror the whole thing and be certain she's about making the right decision, you can give her that benefit of doubt. But aside that, I don't see a reason why we are together and I not ask you, okay, let's take this thing further to something more concrete, and you say you're not ready. You're not ready for it, then we'll have to go on to the next available option. Okay. So next question. How do I know I'm in love with someone, and yet I'm not ready for marriage? Like, how do you know you're in love with someone, but you're not yet ready for marriage? I advise you, it doesn't really make sense having an intimate love life when you're not ready for marriage. It's not everybody that have the same emotional capacity. There are people that have the grace, to be in a relationship in love, and they can still control and manage their feelings. If you're that kind of person, yeah, you can actually be in love and still wait till when it's right to settle down. But if you're not that kind of person, I don't see why you are falling in love when you're not ready for marriage. When you're not ready to be committed, be friends, be dates, casual friendship, date people you like around, not intimate relationship, because I'm not ready for that kind of a commitment. I always advise to leave love until when it's ready. That's what Solomon said. Don't wake love until it is right. Okay, so please, if you know you cannot manage in the situation being in love with someone, it's better you start withdrawing yourself. You force yourself to withdraw. And so the next question say that we are in love, but he's not formally asked me out. You're in love, but he's not formally asked you out. Then ask him. Yeah, it happens mostly, when a guy is with a girl and the guy is not yet ready to commit himself, because once he asks you, especially in Christian relationships, this thing happens mostly in Christian relationship. Yeah, that a guy will love a girl and yet he's very skeptical about asking her for a committed relationship, so that he needs to be sure, 100% sure. So to an extent, you don't really blame the guy. And for the lady, sure, too, if you know you are falling in love with a guy, and they don't like using the word falling in love in the church. I don't know why, but whichever way you like it, fall in love, walk in love with a guy, and he's not asking you out. I think the earlier you ask him, what are we into, the better for you. Because if you keep on, your emotions, your mind, your desires keeps increasing, and yet you don't even know whether this guy has somebody else somewhere. The craziest thing that will happen to you is being in love with someone that eventually gets married to someone else, and being in love with someone that eventually discover that he's actually in love with someone else. So if you know you are having an emotional attachment with a guy, you are spending too much time together, he always invites you, come to my house, let's go and watch movies, let's go to fellowship. Yeah, it can be church fellowship, yes. Let's go to movies or to the beach, or we're having a party or there's a family function, and every time you are around him that you are gotten used to him and yet there's nothing happening, call him and ask him, who am I to you? Am I your junior sister? Am I your sister's cousin, friend, brother, sister? Or are we actually having something that is going to materialize into a fruitful future? All right, this saves you. It saves your time. It saves your energy. It saves your emotions. It might be hurtful, but you can actually pick yourself and move on in the event that he's not even interested in being committed to you. But don't just live your life on assumption. Never assume that the man is going to say, will you marry me someday? Never just assume that this thing is working to someone else. There are people that get to the level of even investing their money into another person's life because they believe that you have gotten so close that very soon, or people around you, friends, are be calling you our wife, our sister, Mrs. This person, this, that, and you get blinded. Please, once you're emotionally attached to a guy and he's not saying anything, ask him, what are you doing in my life? And get your life going. That pays. All right. So the final we're going to talk about today is, how do I know that I'm making the right decision? How do I know that I'm making the right decision? I'm not going to try to be spiritual about it, but your conviction, there is something about you that you miss somebody, and something within you. The scripture said the spirit of God agrees with the spirit that we are the sons of God. That is what is called conviction. When they ask somebody, if Jesus comes now, are you sure you're going to meet him in Lego? There is a conviction deep in your spirit. When you see the right man, there is a conviction deep in your spirit. There might be a separate thing of the face value that you might not have fully ascertained, but that conviction in your spirit is what matters most. So you meet somebody, how do you know you made the right decision? Emotions attached. I will tell people, that's why we'll tell people, don't try to get emotionally attached before you know who is right for you. If you relate with someone before you start getting emotionally involved, let there be an acceptance within your spirit. Let there be an agreement within your spirit. Let there be a welcome within your spirit. Let there be that joy within you that I enjoy this person, I love this person, this spiritual atmosphere, social atmosphere around this person, intellectual atmosphere is something that is fitted to my life. If you get to that point, that is part of what builds your convictions, to understand that this project is going to be to end towards part. All right. So I think you need to look at those areas before you make a public pronunciation. All right. So that's what we'll have for you today. Always remember that love is the most important gift that God has given to mankind. And love is not a feeling, love is sacrifice. There is always going to be storms, but if you stick in loving, the storms will be still someday. See you again next week, Friday, and we're going to have another episode of Impact Touch, Couples Eve, emboldening the endless glamour of love.